The 7 key reasons why I'm debt free. Well, almost. Now, if you felt overwhelmed by debt or just want to take control of your finances and your money, then you definitely want to stick around for this video. These steps have changed my financial life, and I want to break them down because it might change yours too. So let's go ahead and start with our first one. I make a budget and I stick to my budget. This is one of the most important things when you look at any financial advisors, financial counselors. This is the key point. This is the starting point. It comes to building a budget. When you think of Dave Ramsey, when you even think of Ramit, who has a spending plan, making a budget and tracking where your money goes is the only way that you're ever going to know exactly where it's going. Now, if I know, and I always break it into 3 buckets, number one being my income, the second one being my expenses, and that third bucket is what I have left. If it's positive or negative, I can play around with those expenses or increase my income to really stick within this budget. But this keeps me from going over budget and making sure that I am cutting waste. When it comes to subscription plans, when it comes to everything that we have that is really fighting and really trying to get that dollar that you have, whether it is the impulse purchases when you go grocery shopping or when you're checking out and it says, hey, you forgot to add these items, prioritizing all of my debt payment and making sure that I do not have debt. When it comes to debt, that is the number one wealth killer, in my opinion, worldwide. When you look at credit card debt, when you look at the rates that people pay for credit cards, it will absolutely destroy your budget. When you start getting to $5, $10, $15,000 in credit card debt, when you're at 20, 25, or 30% interest, it is incredible how much of your monthly payment is going straight to that interest and how little actually goes to principal to help pay that down. So definitely sticking to the budget every single month. Now, when you start the budget, might be a little bit more complex, might take you a little bit time, but trust me, once you're about 3 or 4 months into the budget, it is absolutely easy. You'll realize that a majority of your expenses are fixed. When you look at your regular payments, whether it is your internet, your cell phone, even looking at some electric bills, but looking at your mortgage or your rent payment, looking at your car payment, a lot of those are fixed expenses. Now, the biggest leverage and where you can make a big difference is when it comes to those variable expenses and making sure you know exactly what you're paying for, and the budget helps you do that. Now, the second one I really focused on, and the reason why we started YouTube, in not only sharing information with you with financial education, also on the video game aspect that I do as well, but increasing my income. When it comes to my side hustle, which is YouTube, absolutely love doing it and love being able to share it with you. But everything that we get from increasing my income goes into the investment account. Like I said earlier, we have bucket 1, 2, and 3. And really increasing that first bucket, increasing my income, and really managing and lowering some of those expenses, really put my third bucket and gave me a decent amount of cash flow to actually invest in a really timely fashion. Every single week, we do investing. Now, this could also come from overtime. If your job offers overtime and you do work a couple extra hours, freeing up and getting a couple more bucks to increase that income, you could look at freelance work, you could look at boosting your cash flow, and even if you're not doing it to invest, you could do this, and even if it's a short amount of time, to get rid of that credit card debt. Like we said earlier, credit card debt is absolutely detrimental when it comes to your budget, and when it comes to your financial freedom. Eliminating, paying down, and getting rid of the credit card debt will change you forever. Now, of course, this is the big change. When I was about 30, I really made a focus and really focused on living below my means. I have made a very conscious decision to live on less than what I earn. So how do I do that? I do it automatically. When I look at my 401k plan years ago, and I'm talking now 15 to 20 years ago, I set my 401k contributions to 15%. That means I live on the 85% that is remaining. That's it. Staying away from lifestyle creep, staying away from keeping up with the Joneses, lifestyle inflation. As my income increased, my contributions increased, still staying at that 15%. And this is a conversation I had with an individual that was literally starting on Monday, which is coming up in a couple days, but starting on Monday to his first real career job, as they put it, after graduating college. Got a decent average income starting again fresh out of college. And I told him, honestly, if you want to be set up for success, start with that 15%. Now, this individual is 22 years of age. If he starts at 15% increasing or putting into the 401k contributions, he said the employer matches 5%. That means in total, he's putting in 20% at age 22. Think about that for a minute. If you're looking 30 or 40 years down the road and you're putting 15% into your 401k at the age of 22, living on the 85% of your income that really remains, that is huge. As your income grows, again, the contribution staying at the 15% will contribute more in there, and living below my means absolutely let me do this. Now, when I think of number 4, high interest debt, this all day is the debt avalanche. I have focused so strongly, and I do not use the snowball as much as I know psychologically. A lot of people that use the snowball, it is a very, very effective method. And honestly, if you want to pay off debt and if you want to focus on debt, either one of these methods will work if you use the method. You have to do it. You have to stick to it. You have to know that debt elimination is a process. When you look back at the last couple years of accumulating debt, there is a mathematical way to pay it off. I use the debt avalanche method. That is how I got rid of my most expensive debt first, and saving on interest and getting rid of it. Once it was gone, guys, I will not have it again. I've never had it again. I've been almost, and it's funny because I say it with an asterisk, almost completely debt-free my entire life, going back to even coming from a very, very single mother, low income household, being completely debt-free, knowing that I have to live within my means and making sure that I don't run up those credit cards. And if by chance I had something was a little higher interest, absolutely taking it and knocking it out, priority number 1. And number 5, we get into avoiding new debt. This is another one. Don't use credit cards for unnecessary purchase. Avoid new loans or borrowing money. Pay cash whenever possible, or actually saving funds to pay for the things you get. Now, I'll give you a couple examples in here. I work at a financial institution. I do financial counseling. I had an individual that came in that had a $20,000 personal loan. That's right, the big 20K on a personal loan. Oh, what is that debt for? What was it used for? How do you plan to repay it? That was one day. 20 grand was set for a wedding. He spent 20 grand and they spent about another 13,000, making it a $33,000 wedding. But now they're going to spend the next 5 years of their marriage starting off together, paying off $20,000 in debt, which is kind of crazy. It was running around 12%, which again is a little bit on the higher side. But now you have the next 5 years that you're just carrying around all of this wedding debt that is not eliminated. Is it unnecessary? You could probably do things a lot cheaper, possibly save a little bit more money than financing that in the entirety. And of course, like I said, paying cash when you can. That doesn't mean paying cash $100 bills. Now, this day and age, guys, paying for it, meaning I have $5,000 in my checking account. I made a $5,000 purchase. That purchase is done. I'm not charged interest. My $5,000 purchase doesn't turn into a $7,500 purchase because I'm paying interest on the $5,000. Again, paying cash could be using your debit card, could be using, honestly, a credit card, and then paying it off the day that it posts, a day or two later, to accumulate some points, get some freebies in there. If you can, making sure 100% that you're not taking on any new debt because you already had the means to pay it off and you did pay it off. Now, of course, none of this works with the debt repayment, with the borrowing, with the income, with the structure, with nothing, if you do not have an emergency fund. There will be an emergency in your life. I guarantee you 100%, there will be a point in time where, whether it's a car breaking down, unexpected job loss, there is going to be something that is a true emergency in your life. That is going to keep this emergency fund is going to keep you from falling right back into borrowing debt and buying and really borrowing at a high interest rate, whether it is an unsecured loan, is it credit card debt, whatever it is. The emergency fund is there for emergencies and only emergencies. And the final one that I always focused on, knowing my why. Keep my motivation strong. If you're familiar, if you've seen my videos, guys, motivation is something that I absolutely love. When I grew up, I had zero education, absolutely zero education in anything financial education, financial literacy, anything. I've spent a crazy amount of time and really an obsessive amount of time with getting to this financial freedom, being completely debt-free, having less stress, setting up a better future for myself and my wife, as well as my kids, and making a plan that we can really stick to. Knowing the why is really stronger and really keeps you from spending money when you don't need to. Now, of course, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these 7 reasons really inspire you to take your own action for that debt-free journey. It's not about being perfect. There's going to be stumbling blocks. There are going to be points in the road where things happen. It is about making progression where if you have to fall back onto a credit card in a true emergency, okay, well, we'll take that bump in the road. We'll start paying it down and really focusing strong to go ahead and pay that down and eliminate it in its entirety. Now, if you found this video helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for personal finance, as well as the investing. Let me know in the comments what you guys think on your debt-free journey and how you're getting there. I would absolutely love to hear your story. And until next time, keep growing and keep on going.